No. All right. So guess what?
It's been recording.
It's been recording this whole time.
No, it just started. But very important. This is a very pivotal moment right here in podcast history. Today is the combination of. You got something in your tooth right here. I can't.
It's the combination of something in your tooth.
I can't do this. No, it's right. It's right here.
Let me see.
It's still there. It's a black.
Oh, you know what?
It's like a seed. What'd you mean?
From my angle, I can't even see it. So just look at Freddie.
It's gonna distract me. Like the whole time.
Are you serious?
Look at me.
You never had a conversation with somebody that has something on their face?
It's like Austin Powers.
Let's go.
Moly.
I mean, I understand, man. I'm just gotta look past it. You're saving it for later. Come on, you know, making me this food now. Yeah, look at
Let me see it now. It moved.
Come on.
It's on another tooth.
How about if I move the microphone just right?
There it is. I can't see it now.
Now I can see it.
You just gotta change your perspective on it.
You know what?
Oh yeah, it's all about perspective shift. All right, so we are doing a podcast today where we are combining two of the most influential podcasts known to mankind. We're mishmashing them into one.
That is crushing it 24/7.
So we're looking at the Beachbox No Ordinary Life podcast.
And what do you call it when you mesh them together?
Beachbox Life. And this is like that friggin' monster. You guys might not even remember, but there was a monster movie back in like the 70s and 80s. And it was this monster. Yeah, but I don't know. He had to fight this monster. It was
the monster had to
Godzilla fought this monster that was mushed together with other monsters.
Really?
Yeah, that's what this podcast is. It's a mushed together thing that's going to fight Godzilla.
You're going to make me Google that because I've seen a lot of Godzilla movies and I don't remember a mesh of monsters fighting Godzilla. Mothra was one, right? Godzilla versus... They never did the Godzilla versus King Kong, but I think in the new ones, they're going to try to like lead up to that.
Oh, they better, yeah. Actually, I look forward to that now with modern day technology and movie making. Everybody, by the way, Beachbox people, who you hear talking to me right now is Damien.
How you doing, everybody? I'll make my way down there eventually. Don't know when, but it'll happen.
My man here is a podcast virtuoso.
Not really.
And he just likes to step up to the mic and crush it.
He gives me entirely way too much credit, but I appreciate it.
And this is really an exciting thing because I like to have the this kind of jocularity on the Beachbox podcast to show you another example of what we can offer, and then mishmashing it with Jim Chens' No Ordinary Life podcast, which I've been part of too. It's pretty cool. And we thought it would be a good idea to combine these two together because there's a lot of commonality and like mentality, mindset, philosophy, so on and so forth. And today we were going to bring up a topic, and it's not about Godzilla. And it's not about something in somebody's tooth.
Well, kind of it is.
I never know
about the tooth.
I never know what the topic is going to be. I just go with it. You just talk, and I just jump with it.
Give my man your seltzer. Maybe you can wash that out.
No, it's only good for that. I might go on a rambling rampage and need to sip on something.
But don't worry, ladies. He's actually quite a hygienic person, and this thing in his tooth, it's just like a little, like, I don't know, seed or something.
It happens.
And I know you're leaving it there on purpose just to fuck with me.
I have a seed if you want to use it as toothpick. That's sunflower seeds.
A seed as a toothpick? You carry a seed with you?
I got sunflower seeds in my pocket.
What the hell? Oh, sunflower seeds.
Yeah, I mean, you can use a shell and dig in between your teeth if you want. You know? All right, I'll just leave it here. All right, hey, so what's the topic? What are we talking about?
All right, yeah. What do we want to talk about? So,
perspective change.
Yeah, basically in the realm of being a product of your circumstances.
Okay.
You know, we hear this said by many of us. We've probably said it or thought it in some way, in some form, where, you know, things are going a certain way in your life and you feel like your back's against the wall. You feel like you're not able to make any headway, gain any ground, you're losing ground, and you kind of get that self-defeatist attitude.
Okay.
And you say, you know what, I'm just a product of my circumstances. Now, you might not actually use those words, but you may think it in a certain way that means
I heard product of my environment.
That's another one, right? Product of your environment or product of your circumstances. And, you know, or is it a product of your own decisions?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it could be a combination of everything that you just said. I mean, there's some people that are able to climb out of it. There's some people that feel like they're stuck in it because they have no ropes. Just think about getting to the end of the road, and you feel like you have no other avenues. Some people create those avenues, and that's how they get out. Some people may have help from others. They may have an experience with, let's say, going to school or meeting someone,
right?
And that person introduces them to a whole nother life that they probably never thought that existed. And then through there, they start finding other avenues and getting themselves out. I mean, listen, I know a lot of people. I grew up with a lot of people that I see around the city. I'm like, man, what happened to that person? We went to the same school, but not everybody's circumstance is the same.
Right.
So I don't know what they went through as a kid. I don't know how it affected them that bad as they were growing up. I was blessed. I was fortunate to have a great upbringing. But other people, they get stuck, and a couple bad decisions, and then a couple bad decisions could lead into worse decisions later on too.
Well, see, that's the key thing, though. You just said they're decisions. You gotta make that realization at some point that your decisions are what is actually carrying you through your life. You make bad decisions. We all do, but you learn and then you move on, and then try to make some good decisions along the way. But
this is true.
If you're making bad decisions and your life isn't stacking up the way you want it to be, what are you going to do? Are you going to blame it on circumstances, or are you going to? This is the thing. I think if you actually look in the mirror and say, look, it's my bad decisions. Yeah. The minute you make that hard choice to do that, I think things start getting better for you.
Yeah, got to make a change. You got to see who else was in your situation, similarities, how they get out of it. Start looking at people that are successful.
Right.
Looking at people that grew up in the same circumstances as you. They probably had pretty much the same background, and they probably got themselves into trouble. They probably went into the system. They probably went to jail. They probably came out, changed their life, and now they're very successful,
right,
and doing things a different way. Maybe not the ordinary way, but doing things a different way. And you know what? People need to start looking at people that way, and looking up to them and say, hey, if they were able to do it and they did it this way, maybe I might not do it exactly the same way, but doing it the different avenue, and maybe I could be successful too. But it all comes with how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to change?
Right.
How serious is it for you?
Yeah. Right.
So some people are content. Some people are content with their life. So you know what? This is how it's going to be. This is how life is going to be, and it is what it is.
Yeah. And you mentioned people going to jail, obviously getting in trouble with the law and everything, but there's so many other things. Could be your finances, right? People spending money, in a poor way, and they run out of money, or running up credit card debt, or it could be the way they treat their bodies, eating, lack of exercise, or even too much exercise. There could be somebody that obsesses over it, and they do cardio 4 hours a day every day, and their bodies are just like wearing away to nothing, and they can't even fit their clothes anymore, and it could be so many different concepts here that we're talking about. So we're looking at it from a very general or broad view, talking about a topic, a subject, but at the end of the day, it's like, what are you gonna do? Keep saying your circumstances are pushing you this way, as if fate or forces that are invisible are pushing you. Like, you have no way to control what's happening in your life.
Exactly. And I don't want anybody to get confused by what we're saying. I'm not saying, oh, you go to jail, you come out, make a change, it's that easy. No. What I'm saying is it's not easy at all. And the more that you continue to let this happen, it's going to get harder and harder and harder until you reach that wall and say, you know what, enough's enough. Now it's time for a change. Now that something needs to be done.
Right.
And it's going to be a hard road. It's going to be a very hard road. But looking back from where you were and progressing to where you can be or have become, now you're going to see that road and say, hey, I've accomplished this much. What else can I accomplish?
Right.
Or what else can I do? Hey, you know what? Now that I'm stable, can I help the youth or help someone else get out of their hole, that maybe become a motivational speaker?
Right.
Tell your story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that might be in the same shoes as you, and they don't have a way out.
Yeah.
And you might be that avenue for them to get out. I just wanted to add that. I don't want anybody to think like, oh, okay, well, you went to jail and come out and make a change and that's it. No, I mean,
that's a good disclaimer, but I don't think anybody really think that. I think, we're all adults. We know.
No, I know, but you know what? People listening will probably say, hey, easier said than done, asshole.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm just, just barking words out here. I mean, yes, it will be hard. It will be very, very, very difficult. And it's just going to take that wall to say, hey, you know what? I got to make a change, and I got to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You know, I want to change, and this is when it becomes a lifestyle.
Right.
And it's like, all right, so I'm going full force. This is how it is. I'm going to change these bad habits, implement these good habits. And I mean, just take it from there.
Right on. Yeah.
The thing that gets me about people who say that they're a product of their environment or a product of their circumstances is they realize enough that other factors in their life influence how they choose to perceive the world and carry on about their lives, but they don't. They feel that it's easier to blame others and their circumstances than it is to take responsibility. And I understand that's a difficult thing, because to admit that you might have a part in your current circumstances is to say that you are responsible for it, and a lot of people will shirk at that responsibility.
Yeah.
And look, and I could easily see how someone would build, like, let's say, all right, you have certain bad experience. Now, because of that experience, you say, hey, I don't want that to happen to me again. So what do you start doing as a person? You start building up walls. Start building up protective walls so these things don't happen to you again. So then what happens along the way? You may run into that one person that has nothing but good intentions for you. But because you build up all these walls and now you have these trust issues, now you might shy that person away.
Yeah.
That person that would have been a help, and then it just becomes cyclical.
And those same people could have been the people that when you were making your bad decisions, they were telling you, hey, you're making bad decisions, but you decided not to listen to them. Now you got to go back to those people, and there's a problem. One of the biggest problems everybody seems to have at some point is their ego gets in the way, because they have to actually say, hey, you were right, I was wrong.
Uh-huh.
Now I got to fix this shit. What can I do? But a lot of people don't even want to do that.
Very prideful.
Right.
Yeah.
So they let their ego get in the way, and then they double down. And that person's like, see, I told you fucked up back there. And it's like,
and it's like you got to run into that I told you so kind of person.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to say I told you so,
but then your ego gets in the way, and you say, nah, I didn't. I'm working on it or whatever.
I know it's kind of hard not to be the person that you are, because me, sometimes I can be an asshole, but I just do it in a joking manner. And so someone will just, all right, critique me. All right, so
I feel like I come across a lot of times as condescending and sarcastic. I am sarcastic, but
you see,
I mean it in a cheeky sense, not in a.
Ooh, he's so
offensive.
cheeky.
He said cheeky.
So cheeky.
Cheeky. No, I'm not saying that.
I was
I'm in a lot of situations where
say that one of my criticisms of you is that you're too cheeky, and you already took that away. So now what the
you
hell?
were really gonna say that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Sure.
Well,
now I don't know what I'm
I
gonna
don't
say.
mean to be
I gotta look up what cheeky means. I don't even know.
You want
Aren't
me
you the one who
want me
used
to
it?
show you?
He used it.
What is it?
He's pulling his pants down. All right, so back to what I was saying. I'm not saying that I'm always in a position where I'm critiquing somebody, but what popped up to my head was my online class. They always want you to interact with other students. They want you to write an initial post. So everybody writes an initial post, and then everybody's responding to each other. So it's like, all right, guys, when you're in these discussions, just give positive feedback. So a lot of times these people are just just writing whatever, not even giving any effort, and they say dumb stuff, and you want to tell them, like, did you fucking read?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I really want to say.
Yeah.
No, but what do I say? Just for the class purposes. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh, maybe next time, maybe you want to look into this and that.
You want to read the book next time.
Yeah. Maybe you want to read the book next time, asshole. You know what I mean? But no, I don't say that. I say, oh, and there's also these points, and I wrote down this. And I try to be positive, but at the same time, it's like the asshole in me.
That reminds me of the time when I took it was a hybrid course. Half of the schoolwork was done in class, and the other one online. And for the online, it was similar scenario like yours. You had to fill out a questionnaire and type your responses to it. And me and maybe one other person would be the only ones to ever actually do the online portion of the course.
Exactly.
And then coming to the end of the course, people would ask me like, oh, how'd you get an A in that class, man? It was so hard. And then they would like ask me for help doing the online portion at the end of the semester. It's like, man, the professor is being so unfair. He's gonna give me like a C because I didn't do the online portion. It's like, you have all this time to do it. Why?
Yeah.
Right.
It takes less than 15 minutes, but now that it's all come full circle back to you,
you
suddenly it's the professor's fault and not your fault.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
not taking responsibility.
Decision.
I see what you did there. Good job, Chevy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was really good. Yeah, that's a very good point. If those people made a decision early on that they wanted to, do well in the class, they would have jumped on that, knocked it out of the park. Like you said, 15 minutes or whatever.
You know what the scary thing is? These people were saying, like, oh, I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be like a job that requires a lot of hard work. And
yeah. Right.
Sounds like a millennial things to say.
It's like one time somebody said to me that they're taking
people love, I think people like to claim that they want to be lawyers or all these high-end things because they can associate themselves with it and give themselves the sense of accomplishment.
You mean the status?
The status of actually doing it, even though they
won't,
probably will never.
Well, the millennial comment that I just made is being that, oh, all right, so I got my bachelor's degree in marketing. Why aren't I running the company right now? It's like, what? Yeah, I want to be a branch manager. Yeah, you need to start from the bottom, and it's like a lot of hard work to come up, and there's networks that you establish to even get to that position. People think, oh, I graduated college, right? So what's my $100,000 a year job?
Yeah, right.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't, unless you're this guy's nephew or something like that, and then he's giving you that
then
position.
It works that way. Yeah.
Then it works that way. Otherwise, if you're just a regular person, everybody got a bachelor's degree.
You know what though? That's a common misconception though too. That they say, oh, well, that's because he's the nephew or the son, and he got that cushy job and making all that money. But usually they're passing on a family business or something. They make sure that those kids know how to run it because they're looking at their legacy. Like,
exactly.
It's like I'm going to leave it to you, son or daughter, and I'm going to be old and then I'm going to die, and I don't want you to mess it up. So you got to learn.
It's like that. Everybody says like, oh, if I had $1 billion, I could start and run a business. No, you wouldn't. You probably spend it all foolishly and lose it immediately.
Or what if you made all the right decisions and you made all the right investments and something just happened and shit just crashed? Then what? Then you lost everything.
Right.
It always humors me, especially like, oh, if I was that buff or if I was that strong, I would do better than that. So you're saying that if you had the abilities that they had, you would have the abilities that they had. You just basically came full circle. You made a non-statement.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't think I can. Did you understand what I?
Yeah, no,
I get what
you're right.
saying.
If I was big and strong,
if I was better than that guy, I would be better than that guy.
I hear it all the time.
Right.
All right, so I'm bringing it to sports. So you see basketball players that are tall. Man, if I was 6'10", I'd be a monster. It's like, all right, dude.
If you were 6'10",
if you were 6'10", he was a bum. He can't shoot. He can't dribble. All he can do is grab rebounds.
Right.
If I was 6'10", forget it. I would be unstoppable.
And besides, there's also a lot of people out there that are 6'10" that can't play, run, can't do anything. They're not coordinated. So there's more to it than just being tall.
Exactly. You need to
more to it than being big, more to it than being smart, more to it than being anything. You got to have a little bit of, you got to be multi-talented with a lot of different abilities. But I think one of the best core abilities that anybody can bring to the table is pretty much be a people person and bring good communication to the table and be able to talk to people that are from different parts of society. Some people have difficulty going outside their own little box, right? They can't talk. Like you take, I'm just picking hypothetically, don't get offended, a fisherman,
I'm offended.
I didn't know you were a fisherman. Take a fisherman and he goes to a party in, Upper East Side and everybody's talking about some painting on the wall.
Yeah.
And he's just like, can I talk about my tuna fish?
Yeah.
No. And, but somebody that could actually maybe, I don't know, get into the conversation a little bit, all of a sudden that opens up the world and they're meeting other people.
Exactly.
And some artist wants to come down and do a painting of the fisherman. Yeah. And then that painting becomes an advertisement or something and he gets more business. But, I'm just pulling some hypothetical situation out of here, but
I know exactly what you mean.
It's that core principle or ability of being able to communicate.
It's pretty fun saying yes to things and just seeing where it leads you.
Right.
If you say no, you just stay where you are. But if you say, I don't mean saying yes to just like agree with people and everything.
It's like, I'll try it.
Experiences.
Yeah, it's like, I'll try it.
Right. You're not being a people person. Yeah.
Like, I try to do that with food. People are like, you want to try this? Like, all right, I'll try anything once. I can't say I don't like it unless I can try it. You know what I mean?
Shows.
But, hey, listen, I can't say I don't like something unless I don't try it. So I'll try almost anything once.
Yeah.
So you want to start talking about taking responsibility for your own actions and being your own decisions? The second half of
I don't know.
I don't know. You threw a curveball at him.
What do you?
He wasn't ready for that question.
Because we've been talking about people complaining about being victims of their own circumstances and blaming everybody else and seeing themselves as perfect. Now, I think it's time to move on to the changing your mindset to that where you are in control of your life and you are responsible for your actions, the good and the bad.
All right. The best way to do that is just to start talking about it.
Not introducing it.
Yeah. I mean, you sound like you had something to say there. So, all right, go ahead. Start us off.
No pressure.
All right. I wrote, to master yourself is to master the universe and to be king of it. To be in control of your decisions comes with a great sense of fulfillment and nobility, but it also comes with the consequences of your decisions. But that is the gift and curse of a king.
I had no idea we were writing poems tonight. Nobody prepared me for this.
Can you write one?
I can write one right now.
Shiggity dude.
Did you write that just now?
Yeah.
You see?
I didn't see your fingers
The
moving.
entire time we were talking in the beginning, right? You can play this back and see how many minutes you and I were talking, right? Chen was typing away. He didn't even give a shit what we were talking about.
Right.
He's like, I'm not even gonna chime in. He goes, I'm writing this poem right now.
I was paying attention.
I know.
That's pretty good.
You were talking, and I looked over. I'm like, he's quiet over there.
Yeah, he's like he's writing notes down.
If anybody's listening, yeah, in the beginning you didn't hear anything from Jim, and then all of a sudden he's got this poem. That's pretty awesome, man. The guy busted out a poem.
You know what?
Well, it's not really a poem now. It's
Listen,
not a poem.
it could have been.
You were that impressed that it could have been.
It was.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I'll write a poem if you guys want.
I think you should also include Queens in there, though, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to let our worst selves, the black dog and the lazy, envious, hateful side of us take over because we don't accept any responsibility for our actions. And if you don't accept any responsibility for your actions, that means you're wherever you are because of other people, but not yourself because you're perfect.
Yep.
Once you admit that, hey, I am responsible for this, you cease to be perfect. And that's a scary thought.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what it is. Most people, you go through maybe a little introspection and you get in there a little bit and you start seeing something about yourself and it goes, uh-oh, that's scary. And then you back out and you run away from it.
Because you're confronted with the reality that you are human and not this perfect specimen and special person that deserves trophy just for existing.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like those stupid stickers is like, I did an adult today. I took out the trash today. I put on clothes today.
Without anybody's help.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's big.
We're talking about all this stuff, and it sounds like everybody needs to strive to be the perfect person, which they should be, and that should be the purpose of people's lives. But they also have to learn to fail with grace to understand that there will be times when they're not going to meet their goals, and that's perfectly okay because we are human after all. You can't expect to just change your mind and quit cold turkey and alter your lifestyle to this completely different one and be successful immediately. Now it's going to have to take years to undo all these bad habits that you have and redevelop new and better ones.
Yeah, exactly. And then along the way, you develop other bad habits too. And if you have the mentality that, you can't make mistakes, then when you do make mistakes, it's almost like a double punch in the face, right? It's like when you're on a diet, and you just slam down a cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day you're like, well, you're all upset over it. Well, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
All right, so today do something different.
In the moment, it's easy to give in to the, like I said, lazy, envious side of you and make those decisions. But when you lie awake in bed at night, that's when the thoughts and your good side
eating away
is like, you piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do about
Twinkie?
Right, exactly.
Are you gonna work harder tomorrow? And you wake up,
not.
And then you wake up and you don't work out at all.
Yeah, you get all pumped. You get pumped in the middle of the night. It's like, tomorrow's gonna be better. But then tomorrow comes and you live in the moment and you let that side take over.
And you wake up exhausted because you were thinking about it all night. And you fucking sleep.
And then you say, you know what? Screw it.
I'm too tired today to do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it tomorrow.
And you know what? I didn't sleep enough last night, so let me eat more cheesecake.
Exactly.
Because I need the energy. So then you're right down the tube.
And then everything goes to shit.
But you know what? That's what it's all about. It's about being human, right? like we bust each other at the firehouse all the time with the eating and whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Guys bust each other's chops, about their weight and everything, and sometimes it's pretty damn brutal, right? But at the end of the day,
that person's an asshole.
But yeah, at the same time, we have a gym in our firehouse. We got a punching bag out there, right?
Yeah, there's no excuses.
There's guys.
It really isn't.
But there are guys who are doing it. They're getting busy and they're training, right?
Not gonna lie, the days that I work are my rest days. So
yeah, that's
why you never see me.
I try to do it too. See, like tomorrow, I'm gonna go to a baseball game, so I force myself to work out today, just in case. I made it happen. Just in case I don't get to work out tomorrow. Now I'm still gonna try to work out tomorrow before we actually go out in the morning. But just in case I don't, I kind of like substituted today. So, but I am gonna try to work out tomorrow too as well. But I used Firehouse as my rest days. Whenever I'm not at the firehouse, I'm working out.
So you worked out when you came off shift.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when shift was over, you put your gear away, and then
I said, let's make it happen.
You were there, and that's what I like to do too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I like to do.
So that's good. That's good. Yeah. And what's best about that is you don't get interrupted by the bells and stuff like that.
That's the best time to do it because
But you guys have worked out at the firehouse when on shift, right? And when a bell comes in,
I kind of don't want to because then.
Yeah, you get interrupted.
Then you get interrupted. It also depends on what you're doing that day. I mean, if I'm in the engine company and I'm driving, all right, I might not have to run to the building, run up and downstairs.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
I'm by the truck, put it in pump, provide water. All right, so in that sense, maybe I could do legs that day, and it really wouldn't bother me. Now, say I crush legs, right?
Yeah.
And then now we get a job. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
In the back of your mind, it's like, you just crush legs. How much energy do you have now? So yeah, adrenaline kicks in, and it's like, okay, cool. But how much adrenaline do you have to actually push you through?
Just enough for that one time.
Just enough for the job, right? And then you're going to complete. I mean, I don't like to do it myself. I kind of like to have as much energy as possible.
It happened to me. I remember doing a leg workout. I don't remember how long ago it was. And across the street at that apartment building, 5 flights of stairs, carrying a rabbit tool and whatever else. And I was feeling it. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll start doing legs the next day when I'm coming off shift or something like that. So, yeah, you gotta definitely do it a smart way.
Yeah, so like certain workouts, I would work out on chest, right? And I was speaking to the other firefighter who goes, I really don't like to do shoulders because God forbid we get a fire and now we're doing overhaul. We got to pull down all these ceilings, crush shoulders. Right. You're exhausted. You can't even lift that pipe pole to rip down the ceilings. And I'm like, man, I didn't even think of it that way.
I call that a superset.
Yeah, exactly.
And here goes Jim.
Yeah, I think the best stuff, on shift workout is back and chest, or just one of those, back and chest. I mean, yeah, your back is
get that sick pump going.
Super strong, and it's got a lot of muscle fiber. So even if you train it hard and then you get a job, you still got something left. Your legs are fresh, your arms are fresh, your shoulders are still pretty good. Except for when you do chest, you do hit your shoulders a little bit.
That's that call we had at that nursing facility, the alarm activation when we passed by the group of nurses.
No. I don't think so.
We were like on our way out, as I passed one of them.
What happened? They goosed you?
I heard one of them go like, "That's what I'm talking about." Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
They were talking about you?
I guess. I don't know.
Where was this?
That was that Elmora healthcare facility. I think.
Oh man,
that's passed by.
Great. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Jim's going. That's why I train, man. Exactly. That's it right there. So I can get those compliments.
Just for those moments.
That's what you do.
Don't let your ego get too ahead of you there. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what that means.
You haven't Googled it yet?
No, I haven't.
You got a smartphone right next to you.
I'm busy right now. I'm not like you answering the phone during a podcast.
Sorry.
But in all seriousness,
the eighth time around.
Well, the eighth time around. Failure is a part of the game. Benjamin Franklin, he actually wrote a journal. I'm not sure if you guys ever read about this, but he actually had a virtue journal where he would try to, for an entire week, he would try to work on one aspect of his character. And, maybe he won't drink any alcohol for a week and mark that as a completed week. And then the next week, he won't go to bed past 8 o'clock or something like that.
It's like Lent, but with tasks.
Yeah, basically something like that. And at the end of his coming to the end of his life, he said, I wasn't able to ever really become that perfect specimen that this journal sought me out to be. but I am still a better person today than if I were to never have attempted this experiment of mine.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, but I got it all figured out because they say Benjamin Franklin was a heavy drinker. He probably quit drinking the first week, and then the next week where he didn't go to bed past 8 o'clock, he probably was pounding, and he couldn't stay awake anyway, and he just passed out, right? Hey. So it's kind of like he kind of shortcutted it there,
right? The theories out there.
I'm saying he's not here to defend himself, so I'm going to say that's what he did.
Hey. But in that sense, yeah, you can accomplish it that way.
He was an awesome guy, though. He also is quoted as saying, use dumbbells. You swear to God. He said, yeah, he's got a quote, use dumbbells. Like, use them moderately or something like that. Like, everything with him was in moderation. So, use dumbbells. Or he said use dumbbells frequently, I think it was, actually. Yeah. They were around back then. And I guess my man was I don't know, doing some curls for the girls or something.
Look, by the pictures, it don't look like it. Unless they portrayed him to be a fat dude.
For the tots.
He was a ladies' man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Deadlifts for the mistresses.
You know what? I'm going to start reading some books so that way I could have
some overhead presses for the girls in pretty dresses.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Look at all the... Damn! Keep going.
Some squats for the
thoughts.
Just for the thoughts.
No, not for the thoughts, for the thoughts.
Thoughts.
THOTS.
Oh, okay.
It's an acronym. It stands for that hole over there. Come on, man.
Oh, man. All right.
You heard that before?
No, I've never heard that.
So that's squats for the thoughts. Yeah, for the thoughts. Squats for the mind. No, that's not what he meant.
No, in the Iceland video, I actually put those little captions in when I was doing the workouts.
I didn't see that.
Forget
I was too busy watching you work out.
Wow. and watching Julian stretch.
Where you going?
What's he doing? Was he working out?
Yeah. Were you going like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Listen, that was hilarious, man, because you see Chen doing all these workouts and everything, and all of a sudden it's like Julian, it's like...
You said he was stretching his...
And then you got Julian flaring his arms around. I don't even know what the hell he was doing. He was just like stretching and little rubber band work, and you see Chen pull-ups, putting the weight to his waist, making it heavier, doing more cool pull-ups and doing other cool exercises. And then it's like, just Julian is just like there watching. It's just like he just happened to be in a video by default.
Right.
He's a very unexpressive person.
It seemed like he didn't want to be really on the video too much.
I love his reactions.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's just his personality.
Yeah. While we were there the whole time, he had zero expression on his face. Like, I'm having such a wonderful time. Just looked that way.
Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
So you could be at a bar and you like, so you want to get out of here? Yeah, we could do that.
No, we want people to be able to...
You know, he tells girls at the bar that he's a gym teacher instead of a fireman.
Good for him. Hey, listen, I have a buddy of mine that wouldn't say it. He would say that he repairs bikes at a bike shop.
Yeah, and what did he do?
Picks up girls.
That's what he does for a living?
No, it's a firefighter.
All right.
But we'll be out, and he goes, yes, I'm a bicycle. He goes, I'm a bicycle repairman. Don't do that. Stop playing with the wire.
He's playing with the wire, and it's making a crackling noise. Yeah, I don't have this high-tech equipment here where it will withstand if this stuff. Don't touch the damn wire.
I was trying to see if I could hear the crackling noise. I don't know what you're talking about. But
I hope you touch it again and the microphone cuts out, and you're done.
Is it like battery powered?
Now let me. Where do we get to see your Iceland video if people want to see it? Do you want people to see it? It's on No Ordinary Life.
Did you post it anywhere?
YouTube.
Yeah, you just search No Ordinary Life podcast on YouTube, and the channel that says No Ordinary Life that pops up. Just click on that, and we only have 2 videos up right now. The Where Angels Play one, where we build a playground, and
I actually gotta watch that one.
And we also got the Iceland one, like I said.
The Iceland one was very cool. The production was awesome, man. Very creative.
The sheep head portion went on a little bit too long.
Hey, you know what? It's all right. You know?
And now that was a sheep head that they served to you at a restaurant to eat, right?
Yeah.
That was like actually like on the menu. And they say, "Would you like a whole head of a sheep, sir?" And you say, "Sure."
Or did you speak to like locals and they said, "Hey, you got to try the sheep head before you leave Iceland"?
I asked them what's like the staple dish of Iceland. Sheep's head.
That's their staple dish?
Apparently, something like that.
Now, you know how like if you could order a chicken, a roasted chicken, you could order a whole or a half. Can you get a half a head or you?
No, that's what we got. We got half a head.
All right, thank God. Can you get
all right, so when you guys watch this video, it did not look like half a head. It looked like a whole head. I mean, what the hell do I know? But my goodness, this thing was huge.
Right.
Right.
What do they charge for that?
$5.
That's it?
It's cheap, man. It's affordable.
To me, it is. I mean,
$25 for good head, you can't beat it. Right?
Exactly.
Get your mind out the gutter.
No, that was good.
Get your mind out of the gutter. I didn't mean nothing by it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's see, that's smart.
So just trying to cover up a seed in my tooth.
Are you?
Still has it?
Let me see. Is it still there? No, it's gone.
It's gone. Look. See, you didn't even think about it this whole time.
Right. It mysteriously, it probably jumped out. I think it was a tick.
You were distracted. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, thank God for that. It was starting to really bother me.
Yeah, right. You didn't even think of it until I asked. I got a bad angle. I can't really see it from here.
Speaking of Benjamin, I remember when we were working on Memorial Day, planting the flags on the graves of veterans, I came across this one grave that was pretty much covered entirely by grass. I saw like a smidgen of the tombstone showing through the grass, and I had to like pull all the weeds off.
Yeah, I did that to a few myself.
I saw that the grave was for I think a Private Benjamin Thompson or something that died in World War II,
right.
And he was only I think 25 years old.
Oh, man.
And I put the flag next to it, and I just stood there for a little bit, and I thought, I was like, this guy probably died, and he has no family to survive him, and I don't think he was ever married, and he died at the age of 25.
Right.
And here's his grave completely covered by grass, and nobody really even knows who he is. He's just a lonely grave in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was a really sobering thought, and a lot of people, when they're confronted with death, they're scared and feel like they don't have their lives lived to a fulfilled means. So I think people need to ask themselves, what is it that you want out of life? And if people were given a single day to live, how many of them would, do all these crazy things and just have wild sex and just get blackout drunk, whereas how many of them will try to do something more fulfilling and honorable? And that way when they finally die, it's like, I can die in peace.
I can die in peace, exactly.
I died with honor. I did something noble that I can be proud of.
Right, yeah. So maybe like help somebody out?
Yeah.
Help people out or something?
Change
So
life.
so getting blackout drunk wouldn't be a good idea.
It's your life. You can do whatever it is you want, but
that's your last day on Earth, and you're going to get bombed.
Yeah.
This is the one time where you don't have to worry about having a hangover and that stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
So why not get bombed and try to help somebody at the same time?
Why not?
I'm saying, so that is not all selfish. It's like, all right,
Right.
the morning was for me,
Yeah.
and the afternoon is for you guys. It might not be all of me, but it's some of me. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about it because I can't really drink anymore. I drink 2 drinks, and the next day I feel like total dog shit.
Really?
So I'm thinking that's exactly what I want to do. I could get really, really toasted drunk, fall over, noxious and shit. And then I know tomorrow ain't coming, so I'm fine. I don't have to worry about waking up and feeling like hell the next day.
Would you want that to be your last memories of getting blackout drunk? Or
What memories?
Exactly.
That,
You know what I mean?
I mean, would you rather spend it, with your
No,
wife
of
and
course.
kid? And
Do you
Yeah.
guys remember recently when they were talking about I don't know if it was like a storm coming. They were talking about like end of the world. I want to say it was about 4 or 5 years ago. They were like, "Oh, the end of the world is coming. The world is coming," right? And then I'm like,
2012.
it might have been. It might have been.
That was
The
6 years ago.
calendar, the
Yeah, the Mayan calendar.
Mayan calendar.
Mayan calendar. All right, so they were saying, all right, so it's the world's gonna end, and like everybody's thinking about, oh man, I need to do this, or I'm gonna start buying this. People start selling stuff. People started buying stuff, and it's like, well, why are you gonna buy it if the world's gonna end? What are you gonna do with it? And they go, well, what if the world doesn't end? And it's like, boom, another option, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, man, it would be fucking awesome, like right before the world ends, like it's a meteor. Like if you're just like having sex and you climax and boom, perfect way to go out, right? And then it's like, I'm thinking this to myself, and all of a sudden, it was like, I don't know if it was like a porn star or whatever the case may be, or she was a model, and she went on the newspaper saying, like, let's go out with a bang. And I'm like, that's what I've been saying this whole time. Like, that would be great to go out that way.
Yeah.
But I was like, I mean, am I thinking the wrong way here? It's like, no, I wanted to go out with a happy memory.
Right.
There's really nothing wrong with that.
Dating is happy endings.
There you go. A happy ending to a happy life.
Exactly.
You come and then you go.
I want to talk about how.
Get it? Right? You come and then you
You
go.
come and then you go.
That's it, all in one shot.
See, but I don't know about the memories afterwards. Are you saying, well, you have memories?
No,
Not if you're dead.
It's like dying happy. Like you're what was that book where there was 2 guys. One was big but not so smart, and then you had the other one, and
Big Ben.
Not Big Ben.
Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men, right? And then right before the guy died. Yeah, look at the bunnies, Lenny, and he's over here giving him happy thought right before he offs the guy, right? Am I telling this right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he kill him?
So you're saying we should all be Lenny.
No, I'm not saying we should all be Lenny, but I'm saying
I thought he didn't kill him. I thought he was accused of it, but it turned out it was other people or the other guy or whatever that killed.
But didn't he like kill his partner? So he doesn't have to.
Yeah, he made him stare into like a fuse. Like look at. He made him think of the farm and all the bunnies.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's like all the happy thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, so let's say that meteor is coming like right before I die. It's like, yeah, it's not looking at the bunnies like I'm about to climax. Like this is awesome. It's like I'm about to go, but I came and then I went. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, that was my thought on that.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody else.
Perfectly acceptable thought to have. Nobody's going to take it away from you, my friend. You get to keep.
Meanwhile, the girl's like, I didn't even get to finish.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is how I spent my last moments.
Yeah, I mean, well, did you not know it was a race?
I didn't even know
it was first. I mean, it's not my fault that you didn't finish the race. I mean,
before the meter hits, you hear her say, "Is it in yet?" It was,
but now it's not.
What do? You going into another bag of seeds there?
Hey man, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, Damien, you're always welcome. You got good podcast qualities.
I feel like I'm just like very animated when I tell a story, man. It's just
yeah, you just know how to.
It's just a part of me.
You should have the microphone on the whole time of your life.
Really?
Except for when you're trying to climax. We don't want to hear that.
Hey, you know what? That might be pretty interesting to follow there.
Well, then that would be like porno, and this is a podcast. It's not porno. So take that to the other end of the media spectrum, my friend. And Jim, NoOrdinaryLifePodcast.com, No Ordinary Life on YouTube
channel. Yeah.
Right. And of course, you can hear us also on BeachboxRadio.com, Beachbox on SoundCloud, No Ordinary Life on SoundCloud.
I wish I had something to promote. This sounds awesome. You guys are just throwing this stuff on No Ordinary Life, Beachbox, just Damien.
What do you want to promote? You want to sell your hat or something?
No,
Damien has a
I have nothing to promote. Like I have no show to promote.
Why don't you make a show? And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make a show.
I'm gonna make a show.
I'm gonna promote it right now.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to make a show and I'm going to promote it right now. It's don'tholdyourBreath.com.
All right.
Bullshit. I'm not doing it because you guys will all fucking die because I'm not creating anything. Don't have fucking time for it. I just did
Self-defeatist.
See?
Right. See?
Back to the topic.
Here we go again. All right. We're out of here. Thanks for listening. Out.